Hello, my loves, and welcome back to Alchemy of the Dark Feminine with your host, Grayson Kahn. Very recently, I have realized that I've been wearing a lot of energetic armor. So, specifically, this fear of being rejected, fear of being used for money, fear of shining too brightly. And recently, I've been working with my EFT tapping technique, my hypnosis technique, and my nervous system work to dissolve these layers. Now, I want to say this was a couple of days ago. I felt intuitively called to create and generate this EFT tapping and hypnosis combination to target releasing all of this armor. And the intention was to tap into the core of my being so that I am embodying literally my core essence, who I really am, and not unconsciously emitting this survival identity and these survival layers. So, when I started doing that work on myself, I heard, first of all, I didn't know exactly where it was coming from, but I heard inside of me, no! And I had to stop. I had to stop my energy healing process because I was like, okay, I can't ignore this. I can't continue because even if I were to continue, like nothing would still happen because I need to address this energy. And so it was my inner protector. My inner protector was like, hey, we're not safe to be seen fully. We're not safe to be rich. We're not safe to be wealthy. You're not safe to be joyful. You're not safe to shine brightly. Do you remember what happened in childhood the last time that happened? And anyway, it felt like an energetic setback, but really, this was my key to unlocking myself out of this prison, out of this energetic prison that is around my core being, around my nervous system. And very recently, I've just been having a lot of physical experiences that are showing me that the internal work is working. I've been doing about 1 to 3 things intuitively daily to slowly rip this band-aid off so that my inner protector does not freak out like it did before. But anyways, as I've been slowly moving through this energy healing, I've been noticing dragonflies, old memories of my innocence, and even tiny things like wearing my floaty dress that I have, one of my floaty dresses that I have, that are actually leading me back to my raw, soft core. And the reason why I say dragonflies are so significant to me is because I have this sweet, sacred memory of being in childhood, specifically when I was like 8 or 9 years old. I know I was, let's see. Yeah, I think I was like 8 or 9. And I just remember seeing this beautiful dragonfly right in front of my dad's old pool in his old apartment complex where he used to live in my hometown. And I just remember staring at that dragonfly and just being in joy and just being so present and being like, wow, and just totally admiring it, admiring nature, admiring Mother Gaia's inhabitants. I was just like, wow, that dragonfly is just so pretty and I just love it so much. And I remember somebody at the time was like, oh, be careful, dragonflies bite you. And I was like, there's always somebody who wants to ruin something for you. And I hated that. But anyway, yesterday I went to the grocery store and I wore my little white bow heels and a floaty dress. And when I say floaty dress, I mean that it waves when it's windy outside. And I just intuitively got dressed. I was like, what do I want to wear today? What is going to make me feel like me? What do I feel safe wearing? What feels good to wear? Not just what people expect me to wear or how society expects me to show up. No, I wanted to wear what I wanted to feel good in, feel safe in, and feel soft in. And so that's what I did. And it was really crazy because when I got out of my car, I had my AirPods in, but somebody whistled really hard and really loud at me and it startled my nervous system. And I turned around, I was like, who the heck was that? And I walked into the grocery store, and the second I walked through the double doors, this little boy had to be 8 or 9 years old, and he was like, hi, just wanted to randomly talk to me. And I thought that was just so sweet because, kids can see that energy. They can see that softness. They can see that joy, and they feel safe in that energy. It's very divinely high vibrationally healthy feminine energy. So anyways, yeah, it's just so interesting how everything has just been slowly unfolding in synchronistic small ways for me. But I want to discuss how true wealth and luxury flow to the core of you and not the armored you. And one of the things that I've been grappling with lately is Jesus. Like, what is it that I'm not doing in order to shift into my ultimate desired reality? And there's two things that come through, which is one, it's not my time yet, because there's some kind of like preparation stage energy that I'm supposed to be sitting in, I'm supposed to be present in. But also, it's not so much of the doing, it's more focusing on being. And for the longest time in my life, I have always just done. I've always been doing. And I'm like, why isn't this working? Because I'm a feminine being. My soul is a feminine being. I lean more towards the feminine energy split of source frequency. So there are souls that lean more towards the feminine aspect, more towards the masculine aspect, and I'm sure there's some that are balanced, but I'm just speaking for me and my soul and my existence. And as a feminine being, I have to feel safe in my body. I have to feel safe with myself. I have to let go of this guardedness, of this armor that I put up in childhood and throughout my life from growing up in my really toxic, narcissistic family system. And I have to drop all that slowly because I don't want to shock my nervous system. And once I do that, that is when I will be in total energetic alignment for everything it is that I want to magnetize in. And that's the key here. For all of you women who are really soft at your core, who are feminine beings, and you're just like, Jesus, no matter what I do, it's not working, because it's about being. It's about being soft. It's about being able to surrender. It's about being safe to feel like you can open up your field to all that is. And that's fucking terrifying. That's absolutely fucking terrifying when you still have all this armor up, all this guardedness up, all these kind of old imprints from sexual trauma abuse, trigger warning, or physical abuse or emotional abuse. And those of us who have experienced prolonged emotional abuse, you have fully disconnected from your joy. And that's another thing, is reconnecting back to your own joy and reclaiming your power, taking your power back. So I know it's very scary, but it's also liberating to do this kind of work. So yeah, that was like another thing that came up. I was working on some hypnosis work, and I realized, like right in the middle of doing this hypnotic meditation, I had this block in my solar plexus where I was so afraid to be wealthy. I felt so unsafe being wealthy because I was afraid to be the richest friend. I was afraid to be that soft, that radiant, that magnetic. I was afraid to be seen. Because deep down, I told myself, well, I still have all this armor up, and who am I to tap into this kind of lifestyle when my friends haven't made it yet? And I don't want to see my friends struggle because I love my friends so much. Like, I want them to go with me because I love them. I love them, and I don't want them to leave me if and when I tap into my ultimate timeline. And that's a very confronting energy, is when you really do shift into ultimate alignment in your life, you really do truly find out who your friends really are, who really is an ally in your life, and who is an adversary. Adversary means an enemy, basically, somebody who is against you. So, yeah, I want to speak to all of the women, all of the feminine beings listening to this episode today. I just want to speak this to your nervous system to help you soften your own armor, your own guardedness, and exchange this healing transmission with you, and to help you feel more safe and embody more safety within your own physical body and your own energy. So here we go. I am no longer afraid to be the richest friend. I am no longer afraid to be soft, radiant, and magnetic. I am no longer afraid to be seen. Whew, I could feel some of y'all's energetic blocks in your solar plexus when I was saying that. And I totally understand. I totally absolutely understand, because I had to work through that deep stone anchored fear as well in my chakra system. So anyways, I want to invite you guys softly that maybe get this thinking for you. Maybe get your minds going. Where might you be armoring right now? And what would it feel like to gently peel that away? So I can tell you before I did this healing that definitely I was armoring in my solar plexus area for sure, in my womb space, so just north of my sacral chakra. And for the sensations, the emotions, what I would feel to gently peel that away: terror, fear, anxiety, exile, all of the horrible things, those would have to surface first, because that is the energy that I went through when I guarded up in the first place. And then once that clears, what follows? Peace, power, silence, all of the calm energy that you're so desperately desiring to feel. So anyways, I really wanted to discuss this today, because it's really important to bring our awareness into this particular armor that we put around our nervous system that a lot of you are unconscious to, and why you might feel this illusion of safety that's actually blocking your ultimate money, love, and joy timeline. Oh, that's so deep. That's so deep, even for myself. Oh my God. Woo! But anyways, yeah, I have a lot of work that I do plan on pacing out for myself to target my nervous system, target these layers, and slowly shed this core survival identity that I built. And if you are interested in working with me one-on-one or doing some kind of monthly spiritual hygiene practices, like going to the spiritual gym is what I like to call it, then go find my TikTok page. I post a lot of inspirational, educational content there. And as for Instagram, that's just my recycled social media space. So I just post, what gets heard the most, what resonates the most from my TikTok, and that goes there. So, yeah, but anyways, my main platform is TikTok, and in my TikTok profile, I do have a subscription portion where I do post all of my unique energy healing videos with my unique EFT tapping and hypnosis scripts, and any other energy healing videos that I do create upon request. I do not post those publicly because there's many reasons why I don't like to do that, but I would say the main reason is if I were to do that, what ends up happening is a lot of people really need that guidance. They need that leadership of, what do I do now? How do I shift my nervous system now? Because when you do one of my practices, it's you need to follow up and clear that total progression, if that makes sense. So there are certain things that I will put out to the public for everyone to sample, but if you're looking for that deep transformational work where you're wanting to quantum jump, quantum shift your timelines and your reality and really change your life, rebuild it from scratch and start from the ground up like I did successfully, then that is going to be your sacred private portal, is that TikTok subscription page. But if you're just curious, if you're still testing the waters with my unique healing techniques, then feel free to peruse my YouTube channel with my free content videos there, and yeah, just see what you feel and what ends up happening for you. And if you want more, then know that space is available. So yeah, I love you guys so much, and that's all I have for you today. And I will see you guys in the next podcast episode for our next Wednesday deep dive. Bye for now.